Listen up, you blundering fools. It's time for the Cracktastic Plastic Podcast. Get all the toy talk your evil hearts could desire from these nincompoops. Jason, Corey, Elgin, and Spooty.
Yo, Joe, and welcome to the Cracktastic Plastic Podcast, where a punk rock band of brothers get together to talk about one of our shared loves, toy collecting. We're here to celebrate how these little colorful pieces of plastic can transform you into a little kid again. I don't even want to look in my periphery.
I made Spooty's eye twitch.
If this is your first time listening to or watching things twitch on the YouTube, not Twitch.
Because of my nipples is what it was.
Well,
You finger nipples.
right, of course. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in and staying through all of that. We appreciate it so much.
Sorry.
But you're going to learn soon enough we are not toy experts, just enthusiasts. We just like talking toys, hanging out, playing Nintendo. So we're not always going to get the details right. I didn't mean to look right at you, but
Did you say playing Nintendo?
nope.
Well, yeah.
Nope.
We love
So
playing
let's
Nintendo.
introduce the band, your fellow podcast co-hosts. On lead vocals and rhythm guitar, he's our real American hero. It's Corey Canny.
Hello. It's Corey.
Hi. What the?
Ready, sick.
On vocals and lead guitar, and a true master of the universe, the quiet one, Elgin Arney.
Yes. I am here.
Wow, guys, really nailing these intros. Next up on the bass guitar, he's more than me. Here it comes. More than meets the eye. He's our Transformers guy. It's Spooty. See? And on drums, it's me, Jason. I'm here.
Hey, that's what I said.
I'm here and I'm enthusiastic.
And I'm totally excited to talk about toys. Dudes, BBTS. What's that stand for, Spooty?
Things and stuff.
Close. It stands for Big Bad Toy Store.
Big bad things and stuff.
And the next
You
time
missed
you
it
want to
by
visit
2.
BBTS, just use our affiliate link, bbts.cracktasticplastic.com, and it'll take you to the same Big Bad Toy Store you know and love. And doing it that way helps them know that we sent you there. So once again, edit those bookmarks to bbts.cracktasticplastic.com. Always love your typing,
Thank
your
you.
air typing.
Yeah.
Imagine stumbling upon that missing piece for your vintage action figure, or finally being able to replace the worn-out stickers on your classic model car. Reproduction Parts offer a way to revive the magic of our toys while preserving their historical significance. But as with any topic, there's more than meets the eye. Transformers.
Nice one.
Thanks. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the pros, the cons, and personal experiences associated with using reproduction parts to restore, complete, or upgrade our beloved toys. So excited. There's a good story coming later, guys. You don't even know. But
Oh, man.
speaking of purchasing toys, we're also Elgin's gonna take us to a store way down south, all the way down there,
Dixieland?
way down there,
South of the Mason-Dixon line?
close, Missouri.
Oh.
Way down.
Way down. You can follow us.
down south. You want,
Is that it?
I'll stop.
Okay, please. You can follow us on Twitter at Cracktastic Pod and on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Patreon at Cracktastic Plastic. But all those sweet-ass links can be found at cracktasticplastic.com. That's our website, guys. You
Nice.
should go
I
there
know.
sometime.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be cool to have it.
It's really good. There's interactive games and strong pornography and Jason's.
I'm going to go ahead and move on.
Piercings.
OnlyFans.
And while you're surfing the interwebs for all that stuff, be sure to also stop by our other sponsor, ToyHacks.com, for all your repro label needs. How appropriate for this episode. They also have an armory where you can get some toy-accurate 3D printed weaponry for your cool-ass toys, and tons of amazing sticker sets. Also, we have a monthly caption contest, too. Why don't you tell them about that, Corey?
We have a munchie.
Delicious.
We have munchies, and
That's
like,
the best contest.
if you have the munchies too, then while you're eating chips, you can look at our Cracktastic Plastic Toy Room and our Okay, so on our social medias, there's a picture, and it's a good picture of something that's good.
So good.
And you can put a good caption underneath it. And
Good
then
isn't funny.
when we decide that your caption is the goodest, then we'll give you a coupon for for
Most goodest.
for $1, $2, $3, $4, $5 for toyhacks.com. That was really long-winded. But you get a $5 coupon code to get money off of your purchase from Toy Hacks.
All true things. Thanks, Corey, for explaining it so well.
Did you hit record?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Just now, though.
Yes. Now that that's over, hit record. Yeah. Oh, gosh. But right now, let's talk about what toys we picked up lately in a segment we call Thrill of the Hunt.
Listen up, you fools! If anyone knows more about searching for the most unique items in the world, it's me, Cobra Commander. In my reign as Cobra's leader, I have acquired countless items, but those meddling Joes have foiled my attempt at worldwide domination over and over again. But it's the thrill of the hunt that fuels my superb rule of Cobra. Pay attention to my loyal subordinates as they tell you of their latest exploits and acquisitions. It's the thrill of the hunt, Cobra!
All right, let's go over to the Hot Wheels guy. I got to change your intro to be a Hot Wheels
I
guy.
have Joe stuff this time, too. Finally.
At least it's not the Beanie Baby guy.
I mean,
Oh, thank God that's over.
I
Please.
have more.
It's over. No, we said
no,
it's over.
No, I have more. No, I actually have Joe stuff this time, but like, I'm getting to the point where, like, there's not really a whole lot of Joe stuff left for me to buy.
You just gotta buy it.
I'm like, no, but I'm almost to the goal that I set out to reach when I started getting this stuff. Like, I'm gonna get all the stuff I had as a kid. I'm missing like 3 things, and so it's getting kind of harder and harder for me to find stuff.
You heard it here, folks. Next 3 episodes, the countdown of Corey's childhood collection.
Oh, wouldn't
when
that
he
be
reaches
nice?
when he reaches that mountaintop, he's gonna sell
that be
everything to
nice?
you guys.
That's right.
So
Yeah,
stay
I
tuned
might.
live.
Start over.
I'm just sell it all and fix my car. Speaking of cars, after months of searching, I
Hey.
finally found the NSX to complete that Japanese classics set
The new
Stop
that
set.
I've
I
been
can
looking
stop
for
looking.
for months. And I think you actually had it in your.
I
Elton
did.
had it in his hand one night at Walmart.
But he
and-
didn't.
And
respond.
he messaged me, and I didn't see it for a couple hours, and
And I
he's
left.
like, "Oh, I left
I
already."
went home because I'm tired.
So
Can't wait all night.
I can't just
Um,
camp out in
no,
Walmart
I
as much as I
know.
want to.
well, I mean,
It's a real friend
it's-
would.
Yeah,
no,
it's true. I'm not apparently.
no, we're not. We're not actually friends.
No.
Our wives are just, our wives are. I just about said our wives are married to each other, but they're
I
not.
thought you were gonna.
Okay, so I got these guys yesterday. I got excited about those. There's 4 of a 5 set, and this.
Uh-oh.
No, but totally, like, the 5th one was there. I just didn't get it because I don't give a
What?
fuck.
What?
Because
That doesn't make
it's
sense.
a Mercedes black series. I don't like the car, so I didn't buy the car. But I like all these other ones.
So stubborn.
So we're passing around the Holden, the '77 Holden, and then
Yep,
you
I'm
got
holding
the
it.
you got the Toyota AE86 Corolla there. And then this is the
Sprinter.
Evo, the Mitsubishi Evo Lancer. That's the good version of Elgin's car.
Yeah, mine's
the
rusty.
way good version.
And then here's the GMC Cyclone. I don't know if you guys remember those from the 90s.
Ooh, that's why.
They were like the Cyclone was like the competitor to the Ranger Splash or whatever. I don't
Just
know.
don't like yellow. What's wrong with the Mercedes?
I don't know. I didn't care for the car, so there were 3 of them on the. There was like one full set plus like 2 more of the Mercedes, and I left all 3 of them because I
But-
just didn't like it.
The full set
Yeah, but
does not compute.
compute.
Error.
I know. And then my last one, like, I would not have bought this car, or it's a motorcycle, but it's a treasure hunt, and it's my first treasure hunt, and
What's that mean?
it means that it's like a limited number, And you can tell, like, you have to look under the packaging, tilt it this way, and you can see the writing on it. It says, "Congratulations, blah blah blah," and then there's like in the front of it, there's a teeny itty bitty tiny little graphic that says "TH" that you can barely see. But yeah, that's my first treasure hunt since I started collecting Hot Wheels, and I got really excited. And it's not worth anything, like it's worth $3 or $4 instead of the $1.25 I spent on it, but. Because that's the regular, and so they do treasure hunts, and then they do super treasure hunts. Ooh. Those are actually more like these premium cars, because like they call them real riders. They just have rubber tires on them instead of the plastic cast ones. So anyway, so I got some stuff that I was actually really looking for, and then that one was just a nice surprise at Dollar Tree the other day, and. Yeah. I got all bonery about finding my first treasure hunt.
I like those Boulevard line. There's some really
awesome.
good cars in
there.
And
I called Eddie and I said, "Hey, do you need any of these?" And he's like, "Dude, I need that Corolla." I was like, "Oh, I'm keeping the Corolla."
Sorry, I called Click.
And so I was like, "All right, I'm keeping the Corolla, but the Evo's cool, but I'm not in love with the Evo, but like I want the Corolla." And there were like two.
Do you want 3 Mercedes?
Well, there were extras of the Cyclone and the Holden, and so I was talking to Eddie, and I'm like, "Look, I was like, do you want the Mercedes?" And he's like, "No, I don't want the Mercedes."
Nobody wants the Mercedes.
Nobody wants the Mercedes. And so I picked him up a Cyclone and a Holden, and I was gonna sell him the Evo too. Like, and I was like, "Yeah, just PayPal me for those 3." And he's like, "All right, cool." And then he called me, and I didn't answer because I'm a dick. But then he sent me a message later, and he's like, "Hey, I found the Evo and the Corolla today, so you can keep them." I was like, "All right, sweet. I'll PayPal you back half the money you sent me yesterday." So anyway, yeah, all 4 of these, and just like me, I think there were several of the Mercedes just warming the pegs there also, because nobody wants them. Like nobody cares about that Mercedes.
What if you just bought it and painted it black or something?
Yeah, but then I'd have to open it.
Yeah, well, you can steam it.
But it's not. I don't know. I'm just like I'm not a huge Mercedes fan anyway. So, like I don't. Yeah, I'm really in love with like the Japanese imports, like the classic Japanese imports, and Holdens are Australian, but whatever. It was cool. And then the last but not least is the only G.I. Joe thing I brought with me, and that's my.
It's Japanese adjacent.
Yeah, my Japanese adjacent Goldhead Steel Brigade.
Whoa, Goldhead Steel Brigade?
Goldhead Steel Brigade, yeah. And if he was real, he'd be valuable.
Steelhead Gold Brigade.
Yep.
It's fun to say, isn't it?
Yeah.
Gold Steel Head Brigade.
Jeez, he looks normal and real to me.
I can explain the differences when it's time. But he's the black major.
Next episode.
When I graduate.
He's a black major, and he was $24 shipped instead of
200,
$500 to $800, depending on condition.
Fuck that.
A sealed one.
It's just that little.
A sealed one he's like the real version of that's really rare. It was 93 mail away, and because it was 93 and G.I. Joe had kind of gone off the rails by then and no one cared about it anymore, not a lot of people ordered those. So he's pretty rare. And if you can find like a sealed one, a sealed mail away version,
you can retire.
The highest I saw one go was during pandemic blind craze prices, which they've settled down now, but I saw one go for like $7,000 back in 2020, 2021.
Sealed?
For a sealed one. Gross. And now they're still $2,000. So anyway, yeah, this is the closest I'm ever going to come to having a real one, and I'm fine with that.
A real Goldhead.
Goldhead Steel Brigade. This is the closest I'm going to come. It's not my turn anymore.
Okay, it is Elgin's turn, so.
And I got stuff.
Well, it's gold over there.
Oh, you stole Spoody's line.
I know.
Oh, yours is things.
Now you.
I got this AJ Styles. It's an Ultimate Edition.
Why?
Who's AJ Styles?
He's a wrestler.
Oh.
It was on clearance in Target for like
stupidest haircut
with his soccer mom haircut.
Oh, jeez.
But it was on clearance for like half off, so it was like $16. They're usually like $32 something, $33. But they have like a ton of articulation. They have the extra butterfly joints in the shoulder and the extra weird toe thing.
Oh, look at that.
That
cool.
the
Tap
Ultimate
toes.
Edition. Yeah, so you
Ballerina
can like
toes.
run, or jump. Anyway, that's him.
Or stub your toe.
He used to be on TNA with Total Nonstop Action Wrestling, and then he switched over to WWE. And he's currently still on that.
Why did WWE switch from WWF? Did they lose a licensing thing?
They got sued
by the
World Wildlife Foundation.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
I
if
didn't
you
know that.
if you Google, it always comes up with the wildlife first.
Huh. All right.
It came with a couple other head sculpts. It did come with this like flowing hair head sculpt. So like when he's jumping and doing his phenomenal forearm, you can do that, and he's like, jumping off the rings, off the ropes.
Ow, my toe.
And then he came with like a normal head, and then like a sneer face on that other one.
Cool.
Comes with some soft goods as well, a shirt, and then
He can
he's
spank
smacking
himself.
Yeah, so he has those open hands like that because he always does that with his crossed hands, and to show the phenomenal one.
Gotcha.
That's his nickname. Do you want these heads?
Nope.
Okay, cool.
You don't
Can't
want.
really do that.
I know. It's,
Then after all that, he
I
could-
kind of got to do it in the picture that I posted about it, but
Just
yeah.
heat it up with a
Yeah.
heat gun.
If you take
Snap 'em
off
off.
his vest, that kind of restricts it a little more. So that's.
I learned an interesting bit of wrestling trivia this
Okay.
week that you probably already know because
Maybe,
you know
probably.
everything about this stuff.
Josh probably
Macho
knows more.
Man Randy Savage was drafted into the minor league baseball system
Cardinals.
by the Cardinals, and then went on to the Reds. And he played 4 years of minor league baseball before becoming.
Yeah, he injured his
wrestler.
shoulder pretty
So,
horribly.
We
Like, he
could
was
have had a
like
completely different Randy Savage
Yeah.
that a lot of people would never have heard of.
Randy Poffo.
Yeah.
He was a catcher in the minor league system and
Yeah.
blew out his shoulder, and then just decided to focus on weightlifting and bodybuilding, and then going into wrestling.
Yeah. And becoming the cream of the crop. Anyway, go on.
Anyway, so that's AJ Styles. So I've been having him do like wrestling stuff, and eventually,
somebody's got to fight the Predator.
exactly, eventually he'll die by the Predator. Also, some more Masterverse. These are the Princess of Power
Line the Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, it looks kind of like Scarlet Witch. It's Catra. I was blanking there for a minute. Catra from Princess of Power. She was supposed to be able to turn into a cat when she like brought down a little mask, and then turns into like a panther character on the show. But same articulation, 30 points of articulation that all Masterverse have. But this is their Princess of Power line. They're expanding onto different lines of like New Eternia, Princess of Power, Revelation, and then Revolution once the new series starts. It does come with it didn't come with a comb like all Princess of Power should, because they're all the original ones had actual real hair. These are just a plastic hair, but it would have been nice to have that as an accessory just for vintage sake. It did come with the shield, the little cat shield with the little gem in it, which is something that they had in the vintage line.
That's cool.
Does
And
this
then-
mask come off?
You can pull it off. It just slides up and down,
It feels like it's on there really good. I'm not going to
Yeah.
try.
but it will slide up and down. And then she came with a little like scepter staff thing, which you don't need to pass around, I guess. And then also got She-Ra.
She-Ra.
This was on the deluxe set. Once again, Princess of Power. And it comes with another head sculpt, like a giant with their mask. And all of her hair is just a molded plastic instead. And then a different cape, a longer cape with kind of a better shoulder gold stuff on it, as opposed to this short little cape that she has now. Kind of classic colors of She-Ra with that white and red. But yeah, that's...
She looks awesome.
Yeah, they did a really good job on both of the, so far, all of the Princess of Power stuff. And I do have Frosta, so when I get that one, she could like
that's
thirst
on.
over He-Man. And of course I have Hordak. He was also in a deluxe set. I got both the She-Ra and Hordak together. They were on clearance on Target, and I got on Target online, and basically just shipped them straight to me, with free shipping. And I think it was like 30% off at the time. These are like last year, so it's been a while holding on to them. But yeah, he's got the cannon arm, kind of like how he had on the show. And this is the blue and black version that the Filmation would have had, Filmation colors, as opposed to like the vintage colors, which are like black and gray on those figures.
He's pretty cool.
Yeah. The nice thing with this Hordak is that both of his arms come off, so you can use this cannon arm on either arm because of the way it's molded. It's not really right or left-handed. So you can, if you want it on either side, you can do that, and it comes with an extra hand. So if you want to swap out each one, you could have it on either one, which is nice.
That's cool.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
he's
rad.
awesome.
Yeah. He does come with a little claw that you can put in that cannon.
It's the claw.
Claw.
You're scared of the claw.
He comes with his little Hordak shield, the little Hordak symbol, Horde symbol there with the bat. It just slots onto his arm. And he does come with a crossbow. It doesn't have any functionality to it, but it does look pretty cool with that. And that's pretty much what all of the Horde figures had. They always had a crossbow as their main weapon.
It's cool they distinguished them that way.
Yeah. She-Ra did come with a sword and a shield. She did not come with a comb, unfortunately. So, not that she would need a comb, but once again, would be a throwback to the vintage series of having that hair. And the shield and sword do have the little jewel,
Pretty.
like they had on the show and movie and figures. Also have some turtles. I have just opened this one. This is the movie star Leonardo set that's coming out. They have 4 figures of that. This is the first one open. It's kind of creepy looking with the face.
And his rash.
And his little spots, which the movie turtles had, kind of. They were more spotted in the 3rd movie when they traveled back to feudal Japan. But it's very prominent on these figures. There's not a lot of movement on him either, which was odd. Even less movement than most turtles have. He did come with a weapons rack, kind of your classic weapons rack, and that's pretty much it for accessories. But they're $10 each, and if you can get all 4 turtles in the one set, I'd say do it just to have it. I never had them as a kid. I never even saw them in stores, the movie star ones. No. I know they have them as vintage figures as well, but I just never saw them. Finally, I opened up the Genghis Frog from the Retro series of Ninja Turtles. I actually have the Napoleon Bonafrog from the vintage line to go with.
That's a real name.
Yeah. So there were 4, but they only ever made 2 in the vintage line. They made Genghis Frog and Napoleon Bonafrog. They never made Attila the Frog or Rasputin Frog. But so I don't know if they're going to make one in the retro. I don't know if they're going to make the other one that I already have or not.
If they don't already have the mold, they're not going to make a new one.
Probably not. NECA, I know, did, but that's different than Playmates toys. He did come with some accessories, a little boogie board shield, some glasses that don't really stay on, and his little tongue gun.
Oh!
That
Oh,
licks.
my.
Yeah.
Inappropriate. I'm going to need to see that.
Yeah, you need to see that close. I brought my VHS tape of Invasion of the Punk Rock Frogs because this is the origin story of those frogs. I found this at Goodwill a while back. It's just It's just that one episode on the tape, but it does tell their origin of how they were created by Shredder as a team to fight the turtles, but then they realized that Shredder's bad.
Which he is,
and then
guys.
joined the turtles.
Don't forget
and became
that.
friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's bad.
But
okay.
yeah, I thought this was,
Remember, this is. We used to
Yeah.
watch movies on this, kids.
Yeah, that's how we used to watch everything. But I don't know if you want to look at that or not. But
Yeah.
if you haven't seen a VHS, that's what it is. And I think that's all I have for today.
All right.
That's for the later.
Spoodamus.
Sporty.
That stuff. Things. Scowl. Had to look his name up. One of the Monstructor combiners. And actually has the dude. but not the base plate or the guns or anything. But,
He's a cutie.
so I got 2 or 3 of them now. So
Halfway
got
there.
Bird Brain and I can't remember the name of
the one I gave you.
yeah.
I can't remember the name of it either.
Shit for brains.
I like his colors.
Oh, I forgot to talk about
Bristleback.
this stuff.
Bristleback is the other one.
Okay,
We'll hit you back.
I'll swing around.
And I would say you pull the guy out, but like the head on the little dude is doesn't really want to move.
I'm not gonna touch it.
I
Yeah,
was afraid to break it.
yeah.
Then I have Beast Wars K9, which they just put out. What was his name?
Daryl.
Well, they
Saber.
put out a new version of
Bang.
basically a repaint of that.
Oh, it was gray.
The- Yeah, the gray wolf version.
Benji.
and
Lassie.
the retro line.
Frank.
Yeah, he's cool.
complete. I got a good
Sky
deal on him.
Gary.
That's the vintage one.
Yeah,
Sweet.
Beast Wars.
so that's 96, something like that. Yeah,
Getting
Not
close
great.
to 30.
I'm not great on my Beast Wars.
yeah. I got so Robot Masters, Burning Convoy, all the clear things.
Here come the clear things.
It has been open. I got it out and checked them out.
It's cool back of the
The
box.
clear plastic though is notorious for breaking. So
Did you transform him
yeah,
just once and put him
just
back?
once.
Yeah.
And so he's based off the Beast Wars Optimus Primal, which the pictures on the back are of the non-burning convoy one. So like the guns on the arms, like there's no projectiles. The ones on the shoulders, there's no actual projectiles.
There's no way to shoot your eye out.
He does have swords that are like on his back. Yeah, he's
He's about half size.
about half size. Yeah.
He's pretty. So clear.
I mean, yeah, this is one of the other versions. So he's much bigger
Right.
or much smaller.
Burning convoy.
And this one actually had it's cool that the swords go in the same place on the back under the guns. So
Sweet.
then I got his arm fell off in there.
Sweet.
This has been opened.
It happens.
I thought about getting them out, but it looks cool like this. So this is a San Diego Comic-Con, which is up. The little logo's on the top of it for the Comic-Con. I don't remember what year it was, but Loyal Subjects line. And it has the red and black side swipe and a clear Mirage. The smoke screen's pretty much the same color.
2014 on the back here.
Yeah.
Copyright. So it's probably.
It's kind of like a G2 side
Yeah.
swipe. That's cool.
So the G2 side swipe is all black. So
Yeah, those lower subjects' arms come off all the time.
Yes, they
Yeah.
do.
and then I got the clear Mirage from War for Cybertron, which was a 3-pack. And so he has like the blister pack that he came in and like the little backing piece, but that was it. So that's why he's out of that.
He's pretty cool.
It is really cool. And I like how they put some thought into it. So the pieces that actually move for the transformation are not clear.
Interesting.
So like all the stress points are like a solid plastic, but it still looks clear enough. So, and then my big purchase is the Year of the Goat Optimus Prime 2015. So it's the clear
Laser Prime, G2 Laser Prime.
G2 Laser Prime.
But clear.
The clear,
Optimus.
so it's like clear gold and chrome.
We're having fun with
Yeah.
lights and clear
Clear.
toys.
Clear with the translucent plastic.
Got a pretty good deal on them. I'd got it off eBay. There was one that went for about the same price
Yeah.
a month or two ago. which was like half the price I normally see it going for.
24 karat.
Nice. Whoops.
And then that one popped up for about the same price. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, that goes for like well over 100 normally.
Sweet.
Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah. Very cool toy. And then these are for the other section.
Okie dokie. Well, I got some things too. We'll start out here with some Legacy Brawn. He's brand new, hot off the press. Ooh, it's still hot. Warm, I mean. It's Brawn. He's definitely the best version yet. I mean, he's just beautiful, and his transformation's great, and he's a fun little mini bot. Side note, Spooty, I have a second one I forgot to cancel if you want to buy the second one. Anyway, stupid pre-orders, out of control.
Is this a movie version?
So, yeah, I think it was a studio series because he was in the movie for like 3 frames. So,
Yep.
and yep, so he's cool.
Hasbro's still up to their old tricks.
Oh yeah, they just put out a 2-pack of dead Transformers. I didn't bring it with me, but it's Ironhide and Prowl. They got like bullet scars and holes in them, and it's
That was just a
pretty great
box of
actually.
like broken plastic.
You would think so.
Do they still transform?
Yep, they're just like normal, but they're paint schemes, and they remolded
So-
the bullet
like
wounds.
This Ironhide, but with
Yeah.
like the windshield's broken. That's his chest.
So they're dead, but if all of their friends still want to be able to help them or like have their memories, they can just like flop them around and shit on
Yeah.
the living room. Come on over, we're gonna transform Ironhide
weekend at
one
Bernie's
last
them.
time. Yeah.
Then I got a bunch of 2-packs. Really love these things. They're all based off of the comic books. I'm not a reader, so I don't really have the reference, but I sure do appreciate. So to me, they're like brand new characters, kind of. But well, this is Ariel. This is from the War Dawn 2-pack. This is Ariel.
Under the sea.
Yep, they used to spell it that way, but then that movie's coming out, so they had to change their spelling. So now it's Erial.
Uriel?
Ariel, and she came
But
with
it's Uriel.
Dion.
It's Earl.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Uriel.
Dion?
Dion. He was
Like the singer.
Orion Pax's friend back in the day. The next 2-pack is Humble Origins. We got Data Clerk Orion Pax. That's right. New Orion Pax. He's based on the Siege Hound mold. He's pretty great. I really like him a lot. I like all the Orion Paxes. I like his, because he dies and then gets turned into Optimus Prime.
Spoiler.
Sorry. But I love his face, his head
what
sculpt. It's very Optimus, but it's got like the most humanoid face on him still, so it's kind of just a neat version. And he came with Senator Shockwave, who's this badass dude. I really like this blue and red. Just a great color combination. Based off the Tetrajet mold. They changed up a few things, made them really interesting. Got these neat little baby wings that pop off. They're just on a peg that fits in a peg on his arm. But he's really neat. I like him a lot.
He's a senator?
Yep. There's a lot of politics. Oh, come on, Corey. Okay, and
Come on, Ariel.
that was the Humble Origins. Now we're on to the Rise of Tyranny 2-pack. We got Senator Ratbat. And he's fucking awesome. I really like him. The Scourge mold.
Cool.
But these bat wings really play into his character a lot. Has a very similar head sculpt to the original Ratbat. And sometimes when they reuse molds a lot, they get joints loose. They start to feel weird. But I thought he was like super tight, and I like his plastic feels glossier than normal. I really like it. I think he's kick ass. Anyway, I like him a lot.
Duly elected senator.
Yep. I don't know the story. I'll have to read to find that out.
Oh, okay.
And then we got Miner, Miner, Megatron. Megatron with his pickaxe. And this is probably the 17th version of this mold I have of Megatron, but I like him a lot. He's, I think maybe his legs are a little in the floppy, in the reuse kind of thing. These knees are a little.
I have read his like the IDW Origins ones, and After reading those, I'm kind of Team Megatron.
Yeah, he's like a good guy for a minute, right?
No, he just got completely fucked, and I totally understand like where he's coming from now.
But I don't know. It's easy. I'm easy. Although I have this mold so many times, this color scheme just really feels kick-ass to me. This plastic's got a nice shiny dark gray and different shades of gray in there, and just little pops of red, and it's kind of tied in with the purple on the axe, and his normal cannon that goes on his forearm is actually the drill bit that goes on his, because he's a mining vehicle.
Sure.
So it ties in. It's neat. It's all right. I'll buy the mold again. Yep. So he's really cool.
I guess you haven't read is he like mining for?
I don't know.
Energon.
Good one. And then almost lastly, I got here the new Optimus of the Volvo VNR 300 mold.
Oh.
You'll recognize this from
the dumb trucker mold.
Santa,
Oh,
the Christmas Prime that came out not too long ago, but they redid him in his toy colors with the straight red and blue. And this mold's freaking awesome. Once you transform it, it's just unlike any other Optimus there is, and it's just really neat and unique and fun. Comes with a matrix and all the trimmings, and it's the first time I finally got the Earthrise trailer, but it's finally with like the right color scheme of that blue stripe.
yeah.
So like I just couldn't be happier to have that all together. And then lastly, in the back of the room, you'll see the Nemesis. One more Titan. Got another Titan. We had the Ark a while back, the Autobots ship. And they're like, well, need a companion, need a foe. And and she's pretty cool.
Those like giant guns that you have?
Those are guns. I applaud them for trying. They had this extra wings that kind of like didn't go with the robot mode, but they, put some handles on it, put a little flip out cannon on it, and like it works. Mm-hmm. So like it's okay. They're not the coolest guns, but yeah, really neat transformation, really huge, gigantic purple goddess of evil.
With cool granny flaps on her forearms.
Yeah. And like the longest legs before the knees.
She's wearing mom jeans.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's an optical deception.
Well, and then before we get into our topic, Elgin had a couple more things.
Yeah, I forgot because there's over.
He forgot his leftovers.
Yep. So the new Mutant Mayhem movie is out, and this is not a sponsor from Pizza Hut, but
if you want to be,
I went to dinner with the family before I came over, and we were boxing up our leftovers. They actually gave us 2 boxes, so I was like, well, I can fit all of them into one and just take this box that's clean home and keep it as a souvenir. It has Donnie on it, who
It's pretty rad
is your favorite.
who I identify with, I guess.
Yeah.
because of the glasses.
Glasses and the bald head. And
Oh,
So it's just a
Yeah,
he,
stuff.
him, Donnie.
yeah. Exactly. But I guess they have all 4 different ones on here. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's awesome, man. I love when
So,
they tie in shit
yeah.
like that.
It's perfect tie-in, especially.
What
with
a good
I
pizza.
want to
movie.
go to stop at Pizza Hut and just ask him if
Can
I
I
can
have
a
some
box.
boxes?
I just want one. That's cool.
And then I just got this in from Big Bad Toy Store.
Minutes ago. Oh, so we need the wide angle.
Let's what?
It's another Castle Grayskull.
What?
Look at this.
I
thing.
haven't even unboxed it yet. It's still in its giant box. It's for the CGI show, and it has 360-degree playability
That's rad.
and light and sounds and stuff.
And the little coloring area and
Yeah, exactly.
Lights and sound.
Yeah. But yeah, it's they had it on their summer sale, so half off. They're normally $100 this playset, so it's $50.
Heck yeah.
And yeah, so
You
like
need
bow.
all the gray
I need
skulls.
all the gray skulls.
That's rad.
There's little like spaceships that come off of it too, and there's a little like the gate comes down. I've seen like videos and stuff that they do, but yeah, it opens up here and makes sound. It makes sound.
Sword opens the door, all
Yeah.
the tropes.
Yeah, exactly. So
Heck yeah.
I'll probably do a video at some point building
Maybe
it.
a video series.
Yeah, this is gonna be a 3-parter or something. I don't know. There's a lot to like build on it, I think, from what I've seen in other videos. But yeah,
How exciting!
so this is grayscale number 4,
4.
Sweet.
and with Snake Mountain coming and turning in playset, I'm gonna be
Oh man, that's
I'm
gonna be so
surrounded in
badass.
play
And then you
sets.
need to get a vintage Snake Mountain too. And
yeah.
is
Anyway.
there like a what is it, the 2000X? Is there a Snake Mountain from that era or no?
I don't think they did, but there's classics, and that thing's huge.
Oh yeah,
It's like 4 foot tall.
nice.
But I
So you
think-
need one of those too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Mhm.
That's like the ultimate Snake Mountain. But with this Origins that's coming out, it's gonna be pretty tight. But yeah, so I'm gonna have fun playing with that.
That's pretty rad.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Very exciting. Well, so today's topic, it really was spawned from a story.
Corey arguing on the internet.
Yeah, and I love this story so much. I'd love you to retell it
Man,
from
I
the
don't even know
beginning.
how much of it I remember now.
It's
Shit.
so good. Anyways, Corey started a movement on.
I started an argument,
Yeah.
and I didn't mean to start
No.
an argument, but then I
It's a
was like,
trending
nope,
hashtag and
buckle
everything.
down. I'm gonna die on this hill
Yeah.
because it was stupid. Some people don't think it's stupid, and I'm sorry if you're one of those people. And I'm a little afraid we might lose listeners over this, but please don't be mad because this is just one episode out of 67 or something. Anyway, no, it's all about reproduction stuff, or as 90% of the community calls it, repo, because I don't know
They
why.
forget an extra R.
Repro.
Yeah, repossession. So there's this eBay seller
Okay.
that makes reproduction stuff, and they're really good. They're not dead on, but they're really good. And then he comes up with this. So when Duke came out as a mail away version, like he was originally a mail away, and he came with this little American flag sticker to stick on his arm. And those are really hard to find. They basically don't exist anymore. Practically the only place you ever find them is stuck on a vehicle somewhere at random because some kid either didn't know what it was for or just thought, hey, this is cool. Here, they gave us a free sticker. I'm going to stick it on my Sky Striker or my whatever in a random spot. And that's where people find most of them. So this dude made some of these stickers. And someone posted it in a group on Facebook, and they said, just a heads up, these things are out there now. Like, this is gonna ruin our hobby, and it's all gonna be terrible, and we're all gonna die of sadness. And
I hate when that happens.
so, yeah, I know. It's been so long since I've died of sadness. And so I said, oh, awesome, I've been waiting for this. And then people started getting mad at me. And then people
But
started
why?
getting, because they're afraid, and I suppose rightly so, they're afraid that these things are going to get out into the open, and then people are going to start trying to pass them off as originals.
Okay.
And I can understand that. But my argument is, the only reason the originals are so expensive, other than the rarity, is because you keep fucking asking $400 for a little tiny piece of plastic. And so I got into this argument with people who were telling me basically, like, I said something like, I'm not going to spend, like, why would I spend $75 on original, like the Battle Android Trooper. Why would I spend $75 on accessories for him when I can get some that look just as good for $15? And then I can see this thing on my shelf, and I have this nostalgic feeling when I see Like, I look at the thing, and it's complete. And yes, it's not technically complete because it's reproduction parts, but it looks complete. And when I see it, I think, oh, that's what it looked like when I was a kid. And that gives me a nostalgic feeling. And then I had people arguing with me about how I'm supposed to feel nostalgic. And you can't feel nostalgic over that because that's not real. I'm like, okay, well, I'm not nostalgic over my 40-year-old car because I changed the tires on it. Like, what the fuck is, like, anyway. So then this next dude is like, I called the FBI.
Wow.
And the CIA. And and I contacted eBay and
quickly.
several other agencies, and I'm taking this guy down. And I was like, and he's like, I'm taking this guy down for patent infringement. I was like, so I was like, if you want to get Interpol involved, yeah, but patents are regional, dude. And he's like, if you want to die on this hill, I'm like, I'm not going to die on any hill. Like, you're the one who's like trying to get the government of the United States to chase after an eBay seller in Spain. And this is like the last person on there. This is like below the last person on their radar. Like, if you even get into the room, they're going to laugh you straight out of it. And so it just turned into this massive, massive argument about, like, is it okay? Are reproductions okay? And are they not? And the term gatekeeper got tossed around.
The worst.
And
don't be one of those, Corey.
what, like calling other people gatekeepers?
One of the.
So I tossed the word gatekeeper around. and elitist, that one got tossed around too.
Yeah,
Because the argument, the other side of the argument is like, there's dudes that are like, no, it has to be original and you're ruining the hobby. Well, for who? Like, am I ruining it for you by buying a reproduction thing for my own personal collection because I don't want to spend the outrageous prices?
Great question, Corey.
Or is it that you get to have it but nobody else does because I don't know why, but like I don't have that much reproduction stuff in my collection, honestly. I have like 2 or 3 pieces when they're with me, but like I don't my head's gonna explode. I mean, it was this big thing. Eventually, the moderators and like shut it down because they're like, "Hey, let's just not do this anymore." And so, but there's this one dude, Steve Schultz, I think, and that now is basically stalking me. So like every time I post anything in a GI Joe group on Facebook, he like comes and shit talks me in the comments, and. Like, even, like, my repair videos and stuff, if someone says, like, how do you do a thing? And I'm like, well, I have this repair video, you know, like, this may not be the best way, but this is the way I do it, so here's, and this dude's like, don't fucking do it that way, that's the worst way to do it. Corey don't know what he's talking about. So, anyway.
So you have a fan.
I have a fan, yeah.
Stuff we
and
would
I think he's
normally
even
do too,
commented on some of the videos on YouTube, which that's awesome, because he obviously watched them. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, the argument is, like, is that you get to have them, but we don't? Like, these things literally don't exist anymore. Like, conservatively, half, but probably realistically, like, more than 60 to 70% of accessories, and especially more rare ones and decals and whatever, like, they're just gone. They're broken. They're in a landfill somewhere. Like, they do not exist anymore. So what the fuck else are we supposed to do to complete our collections and have that nostalgia?
So is this guy, what do collectors
It
like
was
to
several
say?
guys,
Is it destroying the value of the original thing?
Well,
Is that one of the big concerns
I
a
suppose.
guy would have?
But then maybe, but then I come back to the same argument where, like, in 20 years, 30 years, nobody's going to give a shit about this stuff, especially G.I. Joe, because as hard as they're trying to rebrand themselves, classifieds aren't the big hot ticket that they think they are. Like, when I'm 80 years old or when I'm dead, these are just grandpa's old toys, and they're going to get played with again, and they're going to get broken, and nobody's going to care. Like, they are going to lose their value in the next 10 to 15 years. Like, it's already starting to drop. For instance, okay, Mickey Mouse Cobra Commander, he's an expensive figure. He's not a super expensive figure, but he's an expensive figure. Like, for a nice one, anywhere from $500 to $700 for like a really nice one. I bought 2 of them. I brought them to the show. I bought 2 of them for like $140 for the pair, and they were like, one of them's shit condition, but one of them was like in pretty nice condition. And 3 years ago, it would have been a $200 figure, and I paid $100 for it. So the prices are already coming down, and I don't know. It's just like I am 100% all in pro. Like, make all the reproduction stuff you want, and I'm going to buy some of it because I am not paying $75 for Keelhall's pistol, or
You don't want to contribute to the escalating prices.
to the escalating ridiculousness that is turning in, and it's turning into this like people getting so pissed off that like you're devaluing my collection. Okay, well, did you only buy this stuff to resell it later? Because are you really a collector then, or are you just a hoarder who's eventually going to try and cash in, and you're getting pissed because the prices are dropping, and now you're realizing you spent a bunch of money on stuff that's not going to be worth anything in 10 years?
Yeah.
Like, I personally do not believe that vintage toys are an investment. And if they think they are, they're a terrible investment. Because what if the market crashes? What are you going to do with like when
That's for all investments of any kind.
Yeah, and these
Except
are
for
like the
gold.
worst
The
kind of
market changes.
investment. I mean, there are people that make a living doing this, but the people that are making a living doing this are the people that are like out there hardcore, like estate sales and everything else, and like hunting hard. Like Rob goes out and hunts hard and fills his store and makes his living doing this. But it's not the only way he makes a living. But yeah, I mean, there's like this stuff is just, it's Transformers maybe, because Transformers, like, they've done a really good job of keeping that stuff relevant.
It feels like it's only going up still.
Yeah, like that. They like
Yeah.
like Hasbro and everybody else that's in charge of any sort of any sort of Transformers anything, like they've done a really good job of keeping that shit relevant. And I think Transformers are going to just keep carrying forever and ever and ever. But eventually, if Hasbro decides, okay, we're going to go ahead and make the entire run from 82 to 94, whatever, of GI in classified series, okay, and all of a sudden they've run out of product again, and like, so now they're just, I don't know, it's and that's the thing, like there are it seems like there are a lot of classified collectors, but like in the grand scheme of things, the vintage collectors outnumber the classified collectors by a pretty considerable margin, I think. So I just like, this stuff is, and that is not, the classified stuff is not bringing new interest to anything. Like 90% of the people that are buying classifieds are adult collectors, and it's not little kids. So it's not like there's no new interest from a younger generation for G.I. Joe. There's just not.
One of my favorite things you said was just how do you get to decide my nostalgia?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that was like probably, I mean, because this was all fun for me. I don't give a shit what these people think. I'm never gonna meet any of them, and I don't care. But like the whole that was personal. Like, you don't get to dictate to me how I enjoy my collection, how I maintain it, how I update it, how I anything to my own personal. Like, you don't get to dictate that to me. If I want to fill it up with a bunch of fucking knockoffs, I'm going to do it.
That just reminds me of when we were at TFCon, the one vendor that had that Metroplex that was like, had other toys like glued to it and painted, and it was like a huge art project. It's because that's what he wanted to do with it. It's his fucking toy.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's
And that's what he was telling people. It's like, it's mine.
Because
It's
people
what I
come
wanna
by
do.
and be like, no, that's
Yeah.
such a rare thing that I covet. And
I mean, that's a
ruined it.
$500 toy.
So, I mean, but it's a dick move to buy something that you know is reproduction and try and pass it off as original.
Yeah.
That is a con.
And
100%.
the thing is that like most of these guys are out, like most of these guys that are yelling about it are like, what if a new collector comes in and they get duped? Okay, well, what if they do? they learned a valuable lesson, and it doesn't hurt. Like, show me on this doll. Show me on this action figure where the bad man.
Action doll.
Yeah, action doll.
Where
Show
did
me
he
on
touch
this
it?
children's
they
toy.
buy something that is a reproduction, and they still enjoy it.
They're still getting the
Yes.
part.
yeah.
They are.
Yeah.
Well, I think the
And if they paid a price that they're okay paying for it.
yeah.
Fine.
But
Okay.
that's not me. Okay.
No one else can hear it.
Okay. Good.
That was Speedy.
Yeah, I mean it's like, and that to me is
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
gatekeeping. Like you're out there,
Yeah.
like you're out there herding the sheep, and you're like, just let them fucking make the mistake or never know and not care or whatever. But
Yeah, the second you have an opinion that's not about you, then you're a gatekeeping asshole, right?
Yeah.
Keep your opinions to yourself. Only
so I
worry
get
about
like,
yourself.
I
not
get like,
anyone
and
else.
so there are people out there that like would try to do this stuff, but like there aren't any really really good reproductions out there. There aren't any. Like
Unless you're making molds and casting parts.
yeah, so there's one dude that I've come across in a 3D printing group that is like doing CNC machining molds and then injection molding stuff. But he's not doing it in original colors. Because he doesn't want people to sell his stuff as,
Right.
So, but this dude is like, yeah, he's taking molds of whatever and then casting it and then selling it, and they look good enough, but they're not like. Here's one. This is the one that I have to draw a comparison from. This is a Black Major versus like an original Hasbro. Get out of there. So this is the original Alley Viper gun, and this is the Black Major one, and like. So originals in your, and like there are very obvious differences between them. And it looks fine. It looks good enough to be in the hand. Yeah. But it may not show up on the camera very well, but when you have them in your hand, and if you task someone to take detailed pictures of it, there are so many resources on the internet to look at and say, okay, that looks fake to me. Especially Facebook groups, because they're full of self-proclaimed experts that are the first to say, no, that's not real.
They don't all get labeled like you.
No. I like my label. I'm having a shirt made. But there was one dude that he posted a picture of a heavy metal mic. And he's like, is this legit or is it a reproduction? I'm not sure. And
Seconds.
the comments were split 50-50. Yes, no. That's it. Like there were a few in there that like I can't really tell, but there was basically like, yes, it looks good to me, and then another half's like that looks reproduction to me. So this dude who most likely had a legitimate original heavy metal mic, the thing that turns heavy metal from an $80 figure into a $400 figure, burned it, like took a video of himself burning it, melting it into absolutely nothing, because maybe it's not original.
That's ridiculous.
And here's,
my
I mean, it was split 50-50. Instead of just like sticking it on his figure and enjoying it and waiting
Right.
until he found one that he knew 100% from a trusted seller that
Right.
it is legit, and now he can compare it and see if it's legit or not, he went ahead and destroyed something that probably was a legit thing. And
Wow.
it's, yeah, so anyway.
Elgin, are you enjoying your Dragon Blaster Skeletor any less?
No,
than
I'm
you
actually
would?
enjoying it more that it's complete in my mind.
Because it looks like it did when you were a kid?
Well, I never had it as a kid, but
Because
it looks like
it did.
Well,
when
it
you-
would.
it looks like it should as a complete figure. So
Yeah.
I picked up this Dragon Blaster in Quad Cities at a convention when we were on tour, and it had the Dragon Blaster guy and his armor and his sword. It was just basically missing his chain, his little handcuff on the side, and a lock. So when we got back home, actually I found the chain in a parking lot at another show. So I'm like, hey, that chain will work perfectly because it's just a chain.
Just a chain.
It's a chain. So that's all it is. So I went to Etsy And
Just
looked
chains doing chainy things.
and looked up
Shooting people in the face.
and looked up reproduction parts for Dragon Blaster, and there was a seller there that was selling the handcuff, or the cuff on his right wrist there, the padlock for the dragon, and they also created 2 new things that were never on this, which actually make it better.
More cool.
They came with a little key chain and a key, and his actual little belt, which he never had. So, and the key is actually attached to the belt. It's 3D printed. All the stuff's 3D printed. Same color as it should be. So I basically just ran the chain through it like it's supposed to, and attached the
And it
belt.
looks awesome.
And now it's a complete figure to me. It looks great. It's actually been displayed. It's about the only thing I have displayed, like vintage figure wise, because it has all these awesome parts, and it just looks great. Like,
And you're never going to sell it.
no, I'm never gonna
So-
sell it,
And you're
So-
never going to pay the prices they want
No.
for the original pieces because
It would
they're
be ridiculous.
exorbitant.
and they're so tiny. It's like these type of things where it just adds that little extra spice to it. It makes it so much better. And getting it as a reproduction for it was less than $10. It was
Yeah.
like ridiculously cheap, for all this
Yeah.
stuff. And
You actually enjoy it more.
yeah, I do. Actually, I love looking at it more now because to me it's complete. It has all the stuff that I want plus extra stuff that makes it better in my mind.
Yeah.
Like I wish that they would have had something like this little key that it doesn't really work, but it looks great and
It
would be-
looks awesome.
It's like, it's perfect for this. I don't know why they wouldn't have done it before, but I don't. I just enjoy it with the and I'm cheap. We all know this.
Yeah.
What? No. Any picture of it?
So if I can find something that's
You can
a
apply
deal,
If you can apply his Elgenomics to it,
exactly,
I have $50.
exactly.
But
I
that's
have
just it,
lifted
though. I mean,
$50
like,
and an imprint of my dick on your counter.
there's so many fucking weapons or headmasters or little pieces that like end
They're
up
just
being
gone.
They're gone. They're so expensive
and even on Etsy,
they're
there's
so hard to pay.
there's guys that have like created new weapons that fit with the figures. It's like, for example, there's a character named Buzz-Off who's a bee, and they've made a honeycomb shield
Nice.
as an accessory. It's like that's genius.
It's even
Like,
cooler than a
It's like I need that. Like I'm looking at his page, like I need all these accessories because they're awesome. And
People are doing that been doing that for Transformers for a while.
yeah,
A lot of the newer figures have like open spaces,
Mm-hmm.
and so they have like gap filler kits.
sure.
That's cool.
So
Yeah.
it just matches the same color.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
speaking of like headmasters, I was hoping it was going to be here. So they put out, I think it was like 6 headmasters, like heads that didn't have bodies. They're $300 or $400.
Jesus.
Somebody like actually scanned them, made molds, and is making knockoffs.
fuck
Which
yeah.
I got one. It just hasn't shown up yet. $25.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it fits on any of the headmasters.
Is this sword original?
That is original sword.
Okay.
Yes.
Is it? You can tell. Like,
It's been chewed on.
But not to encourage your trolling.
Which-
Maybe you should go to one of those groups with if you have 2 of the same weapon that you know is original.
Mm-hmm.
Just go and post them and say, I think this one's fake. Can
and just see what.
see
Yeah,
what they
that's
say?
that's a good idea.
just the troll.
That's a good idea.
Because if you guys don't
Yeah,
follow
like,
Corey
I
online-
I think the one on the left is. I'm gonna
He's-
do that.
He's
Man.
one of those
Yeah.
good trolls because at least it's entertaining, you know.
He doesn't live under a bridge.
He doesn't live on a bridge.
doesn't take it seriously.
I
Not
don't-
in any way.
No, and it's like
So great.
It's just I don't know. Oh man. There was some, but the guy that was getting the might of the United States military and service agencies on this dude, like that was just
It's hilarious.
oh man. Oh man.
Hey, bless all those 3D printers out there. I
Yeah.
feel like, I don't know any that are like straight up trying to rip people off. Everyone who's got a 3D printer is like, now's my chance to get all these things I can't
Yeah,
afford,
yeah,
and
right.
and help people get the things that they
Yeah.
always wanted and
Yeah.
can't find anymore. Why contribute to this inflation of stupid, unrealistic prices?
Well, and that was the other
yeah.
another thing that came up. I was like, okay, well, where does it stop? Like,
Right.
if I put a reproduction O-ring in a figure, is it no longer original and valuable? Like, what about vehicles? Have you ever bought a reproduction sticker sheet from Toy Hacks? Like, where does it stop? And so then the guys that were arguing that reproduction is bad started arguing in favor of like, no, it's different with stickers. Why the
geez.
fuck is it different with stickers? Well,
Because I like stickers.
because I want my stuff to look nice.
Yeah.
Oh. Do you?
Well,
That's what I want. I want my
ultimately,
Skeletor
I
to
think
look
we
nice.
can agree that it's okay if you want to be that kind of collector that is like all original, and not
Yeah,
that you are
totally.
like even starting a museum or something. You can do what you want. It's fine to be that collector.
Yeah.
Get all original. Be inbox. Go all in on it, and that's great.
Yeah.
But let it stop at you.
I mean,
You don't
when
get
it-
to
When
decide.
I mean, and when it all boils, like when it all comes down to it, like the only way that you are 100% certain going to ever have complete original non-reproduction stuff is if you only collect on sealed card and in sealed packages. Like that's the only way it's going to happen, because maybe there are some really good reproductions out there that you cannot tell the difference, and they have been sold 17 times for $100 a piece.
Right.
So anyway, I'm perfectly happy.
Well,
to
and then
buy
it's not that one's accessories. It's a different one. It's
Yeah.
not the one that came with that one.
Yeah.
So it's not original.
No, it's not.
If you want to go
Yeah,
real
I
deep
mean,
down the rabbit
yeah,
hole.
this my original Alley Viper here. You know, he's like this backpack. I didn't buy this backpack with this figure, and like you know, so like this didn't come in the package with him. So is this figure complete because this didn't come with him in 1989? But like, okay, so a couple of ways, like I was gonna explain like a couple of obvious ways to tell the difference between a Black Major figure. The purists and elitists and gatekeepers call them counterfeits, even though they're very, 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 very obviously not. The patch is completely different on the arm, and the biggest thing is that the elbow rivets on the Black Major figures are reversed from.
So it's
from-
it's a knockoff, not a
Yeah,
counterfeit.
it's a knockoff, not
Different.
a counterfeit. Now, there are a lot of people out there that are pissed about this figure. And the reason they're pissed about it is because what if I buy a lot of figures on the on eBay and I see this one buried underneath it, and so I bid it up to $900 just to get this gold
You're an
head
idiot.
Steel Brigade? Well, maybe, you know, like
Send the seller a message.
Right, I remember my first day on eBay
yeah,
too. But
like a fool and his money, okay? Like whatever.
you enjoying those toys less, Spooty?
I was just gonna say, so like I had gotten the reproduction guns for quick switch, and because they were going for like $35-$40 a piece.
Uh-huh.
Stupid.
I lost an auction today where they went because I forgot to bid. Both of them for $35. If I see them like at a good price, I'll get the originals, even though I have reproductions. I would like to have the originals,
Sure.
and then I would probably sell those as
So how much
What
did the
they're-
reproduction ones
like
cost you?
$15 for both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like it's not they look good. They're 3D printed, right?
Yeah.
So it's easy enough to
You
tell
can
that
tell.
they're 3D printed.
Yeah.
But they still look really good, and they didn't ruin the toy.
Well, and he's got this cannon is so expensive and hard to find.
Yeah.
Because it's clear plastic and it broke.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
The Galvatron.
Yeah, Galvatron. And his gun.
Nice,
Like, you can find
Elton.
his gun fairly cheap. But so Destron Designs, who is amazing, does a pack for that and this little clip on the back that usually.
Yeah,
too.
like his stuff is like
Yeah.
some of the best 3D printed stuff as far as detail.
Yeah,
and clarity.
I've never even seen that on eBay, let alone could afford it if it comes up. So
Yeah.
One thing.
So then we just don't get to have that piece. Like you just
Right.
never get to have that because
Does your Predaking not get to stand up if
Yeah.
you don't?
So I did find one foot that was like $15.
Nice.
nice.
Usually they're 30 to 60.
That's so stupid.
And so I got the other one in his head.
Which need to be painted,
Which need to be painted.
but
The quality is not amazing. There's a little kind of, I would call it flash if it was actual
yeah,
injection molding, but they fit. The guns fit in them. Looks good.
and you can look at it on the shelf and think that looks really cool.
Because I got all of them, he just combined the shipping. So they were, I think I paid maybe $30 for the 4 pieces.
Yeah,
Heck yeah.
instead of
Instead of-
$300.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to find, stuff for Terraclaw Skeletor, like the clip in his back to hold his weapon. If I can find repos of that, I would get those because for me, it's completing it, but then also using it to take pictures of.
Yeah.
So if it's complete, then I could.
And you're not gonna enjoy your King Randor any less when you finally get around to cutting out a cape for him
Exactly, and
out
that's probably what I'm gonna
matching
do.
material. Yeah,
I'm probably gonna just
go to Hobby
sew,
Lobby and find some material that's close enough and cut a cape out
a
for
purple, velour,
him. Yeah,
and make him a cape because
or go to Goodwill, find an old crushed velvet
exactly.
jacket and
It-
pimp
yeah,
jacket.
to me, it's just completing it, whether it's repro or original. To me, it doesn't matter.
Having
It's
the
like,
pieces on the
that
thing
look, make it
that
look
make
like
it
it.
look like it looked when we were
Yes.
children, to give us those feelings and those memories
Yep.
and the playability of what we had when we were kids.
Yeah,
Do what makes you happy.
right.
Yeah,
Don't worry about anyone else's
And
shit.
to me, completing a figure makes me happy.
yeah,
Like regardless of what it is.
yeah.
So what do you guys think there's much of a difference between the reproduction parts and a reissue? Because it's not original. It's just done by the same company usually, but
And the same molds a lot of times.
I could give two
maybe a little
shits. I love seeing the toy on my shelf.
Yeah.
I don't
And that
care
new
how it got there.
that new old Starscream, it's badass.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love it.
So,
And there's also like you were going to bring up, Hasbro is releasing official CAD files for 3D printing for reproducing.
Yeah, how exciting.
I have to get a 3D printer.
I mean, there's assholes all over the world shitting their pants and freaking out and getting mad, but it's such a great
so
thing.
it's Hasbro, it's official. Is it still a knockoff or is it
geez.
now an original thing? Like calm
The thing is, like, there's
fuck
been
down.
files for a lot of those parts for a long time.
Calm your tits.
So this one of the reasons I bought this Genghis Frog was because it had everything.
Yeah.
It's a complete figure.
Yeah.
That looks exactly like the vintage figure.
Yeah.
And like the weapons are the same.
Yeah.
It's literally looks. And buying this for $10 complete instead of trying to find pieces of a vintage figure.
I know.
Are there any stamps on that identify the year it was born?
I don't really care.
Because
That's
that's another thing that I noticed the other day on my retro Awe Striker that came out in 2020 or 21, whenever the retro stuff started coming out. There was a dude, and the reason I looked is because there was a dude selling some stuff on Facebook, and he's like, "Here's the 1985 rare black Awe Striker." I was like, "That's from 2002, dude. It's not like." And I said, "This is the 2001 or 2, whatever Awe Striker." And he's like, "No, it's they're just really rare, but they made them in black too." And I was like, "No." I wasn't arguing with him. I was like, "No, they reused the mold, and every single Awe Striker version from 1985 all the way up until the 2020 retro say 1985 on the bottom. Like my brand new thing from 3 years ago has a 1985 stamp on it. So
Can't use that anymore.
This says,
Yeah.
this says 2022 stamp on it.
yeah, right.
And
so,
even the origin stuff from Motu has new 2022 2020 through 2023.
So Mattel and whoever makes the turtle, Playmates, like whoever's like making that stuff, like they're making new stamps in their molds, even if the molds are exactly the same. Hasbro's not fucking doing that. At all.
Yeah, like you said, there's that new reissue of Hound.
Yeah.
The little green army Jeep.
Uh-huh.
It's the first time, and I'll ever get to play with all the little fucking accessory parts that come with it. There's no way I was ever going to buy all them little pieces that fall off.
No.
And go behind the bed.
And even my vintage turtles that I have, that I've kept all of their weapons. I was actually just playing with them yesterday with Ethan, and I was taking out stuff. I'm like, oh, I guess I'm missing a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
On some of the figures. Like,
Yeah, this is a reissue. Still says 1982.
Because I have a storage shell, a vintage storage shell Donatello, and I'm like looking through his weapons. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I don't have all of them now. And looking from the new retro one that came out, comparing it to that, and like they have all the weapons. Like that's the thing, they have. You can get complete stuff for very decent price, and to me, that's so much better. So, I mean, right now, instead of trying to, I know I'd love to have a vintage one, but like trying to hunt that down and hunt down the individual pieces to get missing little smoke grenades on his belt. There's 4 of those. Like try to find those anywhere.
There's tons of stuff like that. I mean, there were tons of GI Joes that had like Heat Viper had 6 little tiny missiles that were like
or Gridiron with his little grenade.
And if you can buy a 3D printed one, you'll do it, and you'll be happier for it.
Yeah. And I mean, that's not to say like if I come across an original one in some stuff like, oh, awesome, I found an original, I'm going to add this to my figure, but it's not going to make me mad that I have a reproduction thing on here because
the downside to the Transformer reissues is now they're old enough that they're way too expensive too.
Well, all right, what a good topic, guys. Maybe Corey, you want to just wrap it up. What's the moral of the story today?
The moral of the story is I'm smarter than nope. The moral of the story is you do you, boo.
There you go.
Hey, there we go.
I like it. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll tell you all about our podcast network, the PFPN. Check it out. It's cool.
You're listening to the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to hundreds of hours of free podcast entertainment. The shows on this network all have a common goal, providing you with the best discussions about movies and other forms of entertainment media. The PFPN hopes to fill your earholes with audio joy. Visit our website with links to all the other amazing shows at www.thepfpn.com. Thanks for listening.
All right, we are back, and Elton's going to take us way down south on a store tour.
It's in Kirksville, isn't it?
Yeah, it's down the street. The store is called Just Heroes! ! Comics and collectibles. It's at 733 Rue Street, Francois Street, in Florissant, Missouri.
How many streets can you be on?
Yeah.
No.
Florissant.
Oh, it's French?
Yeah, because it's Rue, which is also street. So technically it's Street, Francois Street.
Rue Saint, is it? Oh,
maybe
it's Rue
Saint.
Saint Francois Street?
Saint Francois.
Oh,
anyway, 733 Rue Saint Francois Street, Florissant, Missouri. It's a northern suburb of St. Louis. It's about 30 minutes north of the Gateway Arch, if you use that as a directional point. It has a selection of comics, hence the name Comics and Collectibles. Motu, Transformers, G.I. Joe, Marvel, DC, TMNT, not TNT.
Tiananmen
Tiananmen
Square T?
No. And etc. Also, Just Heroes offers a 15% off discount to all active and retired military veterans when they visit the store. So, good on those guys. Yeah. But yeah, that's Just Heroes, another store in the St. Louis area.
Let's go!
There's a ton in that suburb sprawl
of
of East St. Louis West St. Louis, North St. Louis, South St. Louis. They use those directions.
Oh.
It's Just Heroes, Comics and Collectibles, 733 Rural Side Street.
Man, Elgin has the
Full
best
song.
map skills I've ever seen.
And the best French accent I've
Yes.
ever heard. Now do an Australian one.
But it's not in Australia.
Oh.
Maybe when we find one.
Okay, well, it's time to hear from you guys. Here's Corey with Talking Toys.
So I'm gonna be honest. We didn't get a lot of traffic on this one, and I'm gonna go ahead and assume that it's because people just don't want to fight. Because I suggested that they do get into fights in the comments.
They don't go to the same message boards you do.
Our group doesn't have any no fighting rules. Like you can argue about anything you want. But Ken Tomlin, he spoke up because he always does, because Ken's cool and we like Ken.
So
and
cool.
he says, I see nothing wrong with reproduction parts as long as the seller lets potential buyers know in advance or the collector never plans on selling the item. With the quality of 3D printed items now and the insane prices of original parts, once again, insane prices of original parts, buying reproduction parts is probably the best way to go for most people. I agree with you, Ken.
Yeah.
And we're going to skip that one. And then Bill Fisher, he said, as long as you aren't pretending they are original to gouge people on the resale value, who cares? I agree with you too, Bill.
Yes.
I agree.
Bill is right.
I agree. Don't be a dick. So I should have added that to the summation. Don't be a dick and do what makes you happy.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, everybody. We really appreciate you chiming in. Well, before we go today, definitely want to remind everyone to head on over to patreon.com/cracktasticplastic. If you like the show, you want to help support us, that'd be really awesome. Tell some friends. Go to that cool website, patreon.com/cracktasticplastic. One of the cool perks is you get your name read on the show like this. We got Tony Miller, Chris Turnip Simmons, Peter Glinsman, and Alex LaForest. Those guys are cool.
They are cool. You don't know who LaForest is?
Who?
What?
Where?
I think I met like half of those guys.
Yeah.
Well, we should meet them all. Let's
Yeah.
maybe go do that now, huh?
Yeah.
3/4.
Okay, well,
Goodbye.
we'll see you. Jeez, what a weird outro all that was.
Is the music playing yet?
It's going.
Man, it can't get here soon enough.
I know it. Thanks, everyone, for watching, listening. We'll see you next time.
See you
Bye-bye.
later.
Did anybody bring snacks?
I got an empty pizza box.
Thank you for listening to the Cracktastic Plastic Podcast. But not so fast, my foul fiends. Don't forget to follow these fools on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And visit cracktasticplastic.com. I'll be back.
You're still here? Well, why don't you take a second and head on over to our Patreon page and consider supporting our independent podcast. You get access to episodes early, shout-outs on the show, and be part of our exclusive chat. So be sure to visit patreon.com/cracktasticplastic.